We are on a mission to stop an extinction. One dolphin at a time. One coral reef at a time. We do it because we act and inspire others to act. And we have a whole lot of fun doing it. SeaWorld. See it here. Say it there. From park to planet.
One interconnected ocean, a vast blue expanse critical to life on Earth. And there's no better animal to represent the story of the ocean with all its splendor and uncertainty than the killer whale, or as it's scientifically known, the Orcinus orca. The orca lives in every corner of the ocean, from the Arctic to the Atlantic, the Southern to the Indian, to the mighty Pacific and beyond. This whale's story is the ocean's story, and it is one we all share.
Welcome to SeaWorld's Orca Encounter. My name is Mike, and I am honored to introduce to you these intriguing and majestic animals. There's nothing like seeing a killer whale up close, learning about them and their natural behavior. We hope this Orca encounter will help you better understand this magnificent creature and all that they represent.
While they are found in every ocean, orcas living off the coast of Iceland are quite different than those near Costa Rica. In fact, there are at least 10 types or ecotypes of killer whales. An ecotype describes the differences between killer whale size, physical form, prey, social structure, and habitat. As you can see, the differences are subtle, but noticeable when compared side by side. Orcas are adapted perfectly to their environments. And even the whale's black and white coloration has a purpose. It camouflages the outline of their bodies in the water, making it easier for them to surprise and catch their prey. When viewed from above, the black of the whale blends in with the dark depths of the ocean. When viewed from below, the orca's white bellies match the brighter surface of the water, blending with the light above, giving them the perfect camouflage.
Killer whales really are a natural wonder, and Makani is going to help me show you some of their physical characteristics. Makani's blowhole is perfectly positioned for getting a quick breath of air right at the surface. And even the location of his eyes works to his advantage. It looks like his eyes are located in that white patch, but that is a visual distraction. His eyes are actually located just underneath the eye patch, camouflaged from thrashing prey. The fin on his back is called a dorsal fin and helps stabilize him while he swims. There are no bones or muscles inside a dorsal fin, so sometimes they might curve over. The flippers on either side of his body are called pectoral flippers and are mainly used for steering and stopping. Pectoral flippers contain 5 bony digits inside them, similar to a human hand. The lobes on either side of Makani's tail are called flukes. Tail flukes act as a killer whale's engine and can propel them close to 30 miles per hour. And they're the fastest and use the most power when propelling their nearly 10,000-pound bodies completely up and out of the water.
Killer whales are highly social animals with a well-defined social structure. An orcapod is always led by a female. Though just half the size of her male counterpart, she is in charge. It's all about attitude, not size. Because they live and work as a group, orcas need to communicate with sounds and body language. Orcas use clicks for echolocation or navigation. Whistles to socialize in the pod. And calls for group coordination and hunting. Vocal development studies here at SeaWorld show that early on, calves learn vocalization from their mothers. But as they grow, they learn from others close to them as well. This is a bottlenose dolphin call that Shuka learned and even taught other killer whales here at SeaWorld. In fact, orcas are the largest members of the dolphin family. Whales here and in the wild use vocalization to communicate all the time.
Like all animals, killer whales use body language as part of their communication. Pectoral slaps are used to show dominance or just to get noticed. For example, a mother may use a pec slap to get her calf's attention. But when they really want to be heard, they breach. Spyhopping is how killer whales coordinate and get a better view of their surroundings while they hunt. Fluke slaps are another form of communication killer whales use in the wild. Killer whales are great communicators, so it's no surprise they're at the top of the ocean's food chain.
Killer whales work together to rear their young, protect their pod, and most importantly, pursue and catch their prey. Every day they cooperate to survive in the wild oceans of the world. The orca's hunting techniques are as varied as the whales themselves. Norwegian killer whales will circle herring, herding them together. The whales use sounds to coordinate with each other and to disorient the herring. With the fish confused and contained, the whales stun them with their powerful tail flukes, making for an easy meal.
Killer whales in the southern hemisphere will capture sea lions right off the beach. Antarctic orcas will actually create waves that knock seals off of floating ice. Now you've just seen these waves crashing in front of you, but you can't really imagine the amount of water displaced until you experience it firsthand. Now luckily, we have two very brave volunteers. Charlie and her dad Ryan are coming on down to experience the power of the killer whales. How you doing, guys? All right, you guys remember the seal in the video? All right, I need you to be my seals, okay? All right, go ahead and sit down here on your iceberg. Perfect. All right, hold on tight. Dad, hold on to Charlie. We're going to have one of the killer whales come on over. Looks like Kalia. She's going to show you guys the power of her tail flukes. Look out. There's another one. Looks like one more. Hold on, guys. Nicely done. How'd you guys do? Good, Charlie? They made it! Great job, guys. Good use of those ponchos, too. Very nice. Look at that smile. I love it. Thanks, Dad. Good job. Now, because they're found in every single ocean, it's no surprise that killer whales prey on all types of animals, including other whales. The blue whale on the screen in front of you is the largest animal on Earth. It is 5 times longer and 50 times heavier than a killer whale like Shuka. So how does a whale this size prey on a whale that size out in the wild. What's possible because killer whales are the ultimate team players.
In this example, we see the larger male orcas surround a sperm whale, forming a perimeter, while the females continue to drive the whale forward until it reaches exhaustion. The calves then move in to join the adults in the group. Whatever their prey, killer whales always cooperate and hunt together, making them a highly successful predator.
Play is an important part of everyday life for killer whales. It's how they teach their young to hunt and practice their skills as they grow. Whales are always playing with each other and interacting with each other, both in the wild and right here at SeaWorld. Porpoising is when whales and dolphins swim fast at the surface, breaking out of the water briefly. You'll see them doing this when catching a ride in the wake of a boat or surfing in a wave. The whales like to be touched and will rub their bellies on rocks when they can. Shuka is going to show off the same tactile behavior that you would often see in the beaches of British Columbia. Whales are also imitating each other out in the wild. We see it here at SeaWorld all the time. They are constantly mimicking and learning from each other. Playful behavior has a purpose. Many of these behaviors you all have seen today are used in hunting to stun fish. But today, just in case there's anyone still dry out there, the whales are going to stun all of you. We interact with our whales every day, which allows us to share trusted relationships, to provide optimal health care, research, and quality of life. The whales here take part in their own health care and well-being. Now, one of the most important behaviors that we can ask the whales are called husbandry behaviors. Now, these are not normally what you guys see, but it's probably critically the most important behavior that we can ask the whales to do. As you can see, Emily has asked her whale to roll over into a tail fluke presentation. Now, this is going to allow us to ask the vets to safely come out and draw blood from the whales if we need them to make sure that they're all healthy. We can also weigh the whales at least once a week. This is to make sure that the whales are getting the proper nutrition and that the calves are growing properly. We can also ask for a blowhole sample right from their blowhole. Now, none of these behaviors would be possible if it weren't for the trusted relationships that we share with them day after day, right here at SeaWorld. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to someone very special. At 13 years old and over 5,000 pounds, a mother of one, this is Kalia. Kalia has a very playful personality, and she learns and behaves just as hard as she plays. She really likes to spend time interacting with her trainers, like Petey here, who has been working with her since the day she was born, almost 14 years ago. Kalia has participated in many research studies, such as heart rate and hearing studies. We challenge the whales every single day to engage and stimulate their minds. Diet, exercise, and of course play help keeps all the whales in great shape.
The whales here at SeaWorld have helped killer whales in the wild by participating in many research studies. One ongoing study monitors the whale's heart rate and breathing to understand how marine noise pollution from ship engines and other sources affect wild populations. In another study, scientists from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, took measurements of the killer whales living here, including pregnant whales. By comparing these measurements with drone footage of killer whales in the wild, scientists are able to monitor the wild population's nutritional and reproductive states. Other research has been done here at SeaWorld on the mother whale's milk composition. This research will help create an effective model to understand how toxins in the ocean impact wild killer whales and their milk supply. What we learn from the whales in our care every day is actively helping whales in the wild survive. And just by being here today, you've supported our rescue, research, and conservation efforts all around the world. If we work together, like the killer whale, we can protect the future of the Orcinus orca and this beautiful planet that we all share.
Joining us at Orca Encounter. Have a great rest of your day right here at SeaWorld.